You're in bed, lights off, everything is quiet. Your body is tired. Your eyes feel heavy, but your hand still moves toward your phone. Not because you need to, not because something important is there, but because something inside you expects it. And even when you tell yourself, just sleep, you don't. You scroll, you watch, you check, again and again. And this is where most people get it wrong. They think this is a habit or a lack of discipline. But it's not. This is conditioning. Your brain has learned something, and now it follows it without asking. To understand this, you need to understand what your brain is doing. At night, during the day, your brain is busy. Noise, movement, people, tasks, distractions, everything keeps it active. But at night, everything slows down. There is silence. There is stillness, and for the first time, your brain has space, and that space feels uncomfortable. Because in that silence, your thoughts become louder. Things you ignored start coming back, conversations, memories, unfinished thoughts, and your brain doesn't like that. It sees this as something it needs to escape. So it looks for stimulation, something easy, something fast, something familiar, and your phone is the easiest option. It is always there. It always works. It always gives you something. And that is where dopamine comes in. Dopamine is not just pleasure, it is anticipation. It is the feeling of something is coming. Every time you scroll, your brain expects something new. A new video, a new message, a new piece of information, and this uncertainty is what keeps you engaged. Because your brain loves unpredictable rewards. This is called a variable reward system. It is the same system used in gambling. You don't know what you will get, but you expect something, and that expectation keeps you going. So when you lie in bed and pick up your phone, your brain switches from rest mode to reward-seeking mode. And once that switch happens, sleep becomes harder, because your brain is no longer trying to slow down. It is trying to stay engaged. There is also something physical happening. The light from your phone, especially blue light, affects your brain directly. Your brain uses light to understand time. When it gets dark, your brain releases melatonin. Melatonin is the hormone that tells your body it is time to sleep, but when you look at a bright screen, your brain gets confused. It thinks it is still daytime, so it delays melatonin release, which means your body does not fully enter sleep mode. So now you have two things happening. Your brain is stimulated and your body is delayed. And this creates a loop. You feel tired, but not sleepy. You want to sleep, but your brain is active. So what do? You go back to your phone. And this strengthens the cycle. Because now your brain learns bed frightened phone instead of bed frightened sleep. And over time, this association becomes automatic. You don't think about it, you just do it. There is also an emotional layer that most people ignore. At night, your defenses are lower. You are not distracted. You are not busy. You are just there. And for many people, that feels uncomfortable. Because being alone with your thoughts is not easy, so the phone becomes an escape. Not from boredom, but from awareness. It gives you something to focus on, so you don't have to face what is inside. And this is why, even when you are tired, you keep scrolling, because stopping means feeling. And your brain is trying to avoid that. There is also a concept called cognitive fatigue. During the day, your brain makes decisions, constantly small ones, big ones, continuous processing. By the time you reach night, your brain is exhausted And when the brain is tired, it chooses CZ. Options? Scrolling requires no effort, no thinking, no responsibility. So your brain defaults to it. Because it is easier than doing nothing. There is also a habit loop that forms over time. Cue action, reward, the cue eyes getting into bed, the action is picking up your phone, the reward is dopamine relief and distraction, and once this loop is repeated enough times, it becomes automatic. You don't decide, you react. There is also something deeper related to control. During the day, you deal with uncertainty, stress pressure, but your phone gives. You control. You choose what to watch. You choose when to stop. You control the experience. And at night, that feeling becomes comforting, so your brain prefers it over uncertainty. There is also a social layer even when you are alone. Your phone connects you to people, content, activity, and this reduces the feeling of isolation, even if it is temporary. Even if it is not real connection, your brain still responds to it. There is also a neurological adaptation. The more you repeat this behavior, the stronger. The neural pathway becomes, meaning your brain becomes faster at choosing the phone and slower at choosing sleep. This is why it feels automatic, because it is. Your brain has optimized it. But here is the important part. You are not broken. You are trained. Your brain is doing what it learned. And once you understand that, you stop blaming yourself and start changing the system, because you don't fix this with motivation. You fix it with awareness. The first step is recognizing the moment. You reach for your phone. That small moment before action, that is where control exists. The second step is changing the association. Your bed should not be a place for scrolling. It should be a place for rest. That means creating distance between you and your phone. Not extreme, just enough to interrupt the pattern. The third step is allowing the discomfort, because when you stop scrolling, your thoughts will come. And that is normal. That is your brain returning to its natural state. And over time, that discomfort reduces, because your brain learns it is safe without stimulation. The fourth step is reducing the trigger lower. Lightless, stimulation-less input. This helps your brain shift into rest mode. And slowly, the pattern changes. Not instantly, not perfectly, but gradually, because your brain learns through repetition. And once it learns a new pattern, it follows it the same way it followed the old one. So if you can't sleep without your phone, it doesn't mean you lack discipline. It means your brain has been trained to stay awake, and now you are retraining it, and that takes time. But it works, because your brain is always learning.